last man standing match is a whole different story.
The WWE Universe witnessed absolute chaos and brutality unfold on what was supposed to be an ordinary Friday night SmackDown. The entire landscape of WWE shifted in a matter of minutes when Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, returned with vengeance burning in his eyes. What started as a routine segment featuring Logan Paul quickly descended into a violent spectacle that left fans speechless, commentators stunned, and even WWE officials hesitant to step in. The Bloodline had made their statement, one written in dominance, pain, and total control. Logan Paul's confidence turns to shock. For weeks, Logan Paul had been taunting Roman Reigns on social media, calling himself the true face of WWE, and boasting about his global fame and athleticism. Riding high after his last victory in the ring, Logan strutted into SmackDown with his signature swagger, his trademark grin flashing as he addressed the crowd. With a microphone in hand, he mocked the Bloodline, calling Reigns yesterday's news and claiming that the era of the influencer had officially begun. The WWE Universe buzzed with mixed reactions, some cheering his audacity, others booing what they saw as arrogance beyond measure. But Logan didn't stop there. He went as far as to challenge Roman Reigns to a real fight at the next premium live event, promising to humble the so-called tribal chief. What he didn't realize, however, was that his words had already summoned the wrath of the most dominant faction in modern WWE history. The arena erupts. The Bloodline arrives. As Logan continued his verbal assault, the lights suddenly dimmed, and the arena was plunged into darkness. The crowd roared as the unmistakable symphony of war drums filled the air, the iconic entrance theme of the Bloodline. Out stepped Roman Reigns, flanked by Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, their faces carved with cold determination. The energy in the arena shifted instantly. Roman stood at the top of the ramp, glaring toward the ring where Logan Paul's confident smirk began to fade. The atmosphere was electric. Thousands of fans on their feet, phones raised, recording what they knew would be a historic moment. Slowly, methodically, the tribal chief made his way to the ring, each step echoing with authority. When he finally entered the squared circle, the air felt heavy, as if even the lights dimmed in respect. Words turned to war. Roman Reigns didn't need a microphone. His eyes told the story: fury, disappointment, and a thirst for retribution. Logan, still trying to act composed, tried to speak, but his voice wavered. He attempted to reason with Reigns, claiming that his words were just promotion, that he meant no disrespect. The crowd could sense the panic starting to crack through his bravado. Reigns tilted his head slightly, smirking. Then, without a word, he extended his hand. Not in peace, but as a signal. In a flash, Solo Sikoa pounced. The enforcer of the Bloodline delivered a thunderous Samoan spike, dropping Logan Paul to the mat like a rag doll. The arena exploded with gasps and cheers as Jimmy Uso followed up with a devastating superkick, nearly knocking Logan out cold. Roman, calm and collected, crouched over Logan's fallen body. "You don't talk about the tribal chief," he murmured into the microphone, his voice low and dangerous. "You acknowledge him." A ruthless beating ensues. What happened next wasn't a match. It was a massacre. Solo Sikoa pulled Logan up by his hair and slammed him against the corner post. Jimmy Uso grabbed a steel chair, wrapping it around Logan's ribs before striking him repeatedly. The sound of metal colliding with flesh echoed through the arena, each strike more brutal than the last. WWE officials rushed to ringside, but the Bloodline stood guard, refusing to let anyone interfere. Roman Reigns finally stepped forward, demanding the microphone once again. "This is what happens," he said, his tone filled with finality, "when you disrespect the Bloodline, when you disrespect your tribal chief." Then, in a shocking display of dominance, Roman hoisted Logan Paul onto his shoulders and delivered a devastating spear, splitting the announcer's table in half. The crowd erupted, some cheering for the ruthless power, others horrified by the destruction before them. Logan lay motionless among the wreckage, his once confident demeanor shattered into silence. The Bloodline reclaims its throne. As the dust settled, Roman Reigns stood tall over the broken body of Logan Paul. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso flanked him, their heads bowed slightly in acknowledgement of their leader. Roman raised his championship belt high into the air, a symbolic reminder to the entire WWE roster and the world that the Bloodline reigns supreme. The camera panned across the carnage, broken tables, scattered debris, and medics rushing to check on Logan. Even commentator Michael Cole's voice cracked with disbelief, saying, This wasn't just an assault. This was a message. Roman turned to the camera, eyes burning with intensity. Anyone who stands against the Bloodline, he declared, will suffer the same fate. The crowd erupted once again, chanting, Tribal Chief! Tribal Chief! Backstage fallout and locker room. Reactions. Backstage, chaos continued to unfold. WWE officials, security guards, and medical staff scrambled to attend to Logan Paul, who was barely conscious and clutching his ribs. Reports circulated that Logan might have suffered multiple injuries, possible cracked ribs, internal bruising, and severe trauma. The entire roster was buzzing. Some superstars expressed outrage over the Bloodline's merciless actions, while others admitted, albeit reluctantly, that this was the dominance that made Roman Reigns untouchable. Triple H, watching from his office, reportedly ordered an immediate review of the attack, but sources say he stopped short of issuing any suspension, perhaps out of respect for the Tribal Chief's status within WWE. The message was clear: the Bloodline answers to no one. The aftermath. What's next for Logan Paul? As SmackDown went off the air, social media exploded. # Bloodline domination and # Logan Paul destroyed trended worldwide within minutes. Fans speculated whether Logan would ever return to WWE after such a humiliating and physically devastating encounter. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns' dominance had once again been re-established. The Bloodline, thought to be fractured after months of internal conflict, appeared more united and more dangerous than ever before. The image of Roman standing tall under the bright lights, championship raised, with Logan Paul's body broken beneath him, became an instant symbol of the Bloodline's unrelenting power.